Imagine this. You walk into a room, and every eye turns toward you, not out of curiosity, but out of instinct. The air shifts. Your presence alone commands respect, intrigue, and a quiet admiration that doesn't need to be spoken. She notices you, not because you're loud, not because you're desperate for her attention, but because you carry yourself like a man who's already won the game before it even started. Now imagine speaking in a way that doesn't just catch her ear, but pulls her in, leaving her hanging on your every word, chasing the mystery of who you are. This isn't a fantasy, it's a skill. And it's rooted in something ancient, something unshakable, the wisdom of Stoicism. Welcome to a journey that's about to transform the way you speak, the way you stand, and the way you live. This isn't just about attracting her, it's about becoming the man no one can ignore. Today, we're diving deep into 7 Stoic-inspired principles that will change how you communicate with women, how you hold your power, and how you leave a mark that lingers long after you're gone. Picture Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, sitting calmly in the chaos of war, his words cutting through the noise like a blade, unrushed, deliberate, powerful. That's the energy we're channeling here. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to speak like that, to captivate her, to command respect, and to walk away with your dignity intact every single time. So if you're ready to stop begging for attention and start earning it, stick with me. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this isn't just a video, it's a movement. Share it with the men in your life who need to hear this. Let's build a tribe of kings, one word at a time. Here we go. Let's start at the beginning, because in the game of attraction, the first impression isn't just everything, it's the foundation of everything that follows. The Stoics taught us that we can't control how others perceive us, but we can control what we project. And what you project in those first 5 seconds, that's your alpha signal. It's not about peacocking with loud clothes or flexing your biceps. It's about carrying yourself like a man who's already whole, who doesn't need her approval to feel complete. Think of Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, who said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." He wasn't whining, he was pointing out that life is hard, but you don't crumble under it. You stand tall. That's the energy you bring to every interaction. When you meet her, your voice, your posture, your gaze, they all say, "I'm here and I'm not shaken." So how do you craft this alpha first impression? It starts before you even open your mouth. Picture this. You're walking into a crowded bar. The noise is deafening, laughter, clinking glasses, some guy yelling about his weekend. Most men shrink in that chaos, blending into the background like wallpaper. Not you. You move with purpose. Your shoulders are back, your steps are measured, your eyes scan the room not with desperation, but with curiosity, like a lion surveying his territory. She catches that. Women have a radar for confidence, and it's not about arrogance. It's about certainty. You're certain of your worth, not because she says so, but because you've decided it. Now let's talk about that first word, the moment you speak. Most guys rush in, tripping over themselves to impress her with a cheesy line or a nervous laugh. That's not alpha. An alpha speaks like every word is a gift he's choosing to give. Pause. Let the silence hang for a split second before you say, "Hey." Not a timid hi, not a shouted hello. Just a calm, grounded hey that lands like a stone in a still pond. The ripples spread. She turns, intrigued, because you didn't beg for her attention, you claimed it. This is Stoic discipline in action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Your first impression isn't about her reaction, it's about your resolve. You don't fidget. You don't over-explain. You don't fill the air with noise to avoid awkwardness. You let the moment breathe. And when she responds, whether it's a smile, a question, or a cold stare, you don't flinch. You've already won, because you're not playing her game. You're playing yours. Let's break this down further. Your voice is your weapon. Keep it low, steady, deliberate, like you're revealing a secret she's lucky to hear. Studies show that deeper voices trigger primal attraction in women. It's biology, not opinion. But it's not just pitch, it's pacing. Slow down. Most men talk fast when they're nervous, spilling words like they're running out of time. You're not. You've got all the time in the world, because you're not chasing her clock. You're setting the tone. And your eyes? They lock on hers, not in a creepy stare down, but in a way that says, I see you, and I'm not afraid to be seen. This isn't about faking it, it's about embodying it. The Stoics didn't pretend to be strong, they cultivated it through practice. So practice this. Stand in front of a mirror. Say your name. Say it again, slower. Feel the weight of it. That's how you introduce yourself, not as a question, but as a statement. For example, I'm Elon. Period. No apologies, no qualifiers. She'll feel that strength, and it'll stick with her long after you've walked away. This is your alpha first impression, unhurried, unshaken, undeniable. It's the Stoic way, mastering yourself so the world has no choice but to notice. Now that you've planted the seed with your alpha first impression, let's talk about the trap most men fall into next, seeking validation and chasing her approval. It's the fastest way to lose everything you just built. Picture this, you've said your hey, she smiled, maybe even tossed you a flirty hi back. The average guy's brain lights up like a slot machine, jackpot. He thinks, she likes me. Now I've got to keep her interested. And that's where he starts running after her attention, her laughs, her compliments, like a dog chasing a car he'll never catch. That's not you anymore. You're a Stoic. You don't chase. You don't beg. You don't need her to tell you you're enough, because you've already decided it. Epictetus, the Stoic sage, said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Her opinion? Beyond your control. Her interest? Beyond your control. Your dignity? That's yours to hold. So, what does this look like in practice? It's simple, but it's not easy. When you talk to her, you don't fish for her approval. You don't say, "So, do you like this place?" hoping she'll nod and make you feel clever for picking it. You say, "This place has character. I like the vibe." You're stating your truth, not auditioning for her agreement. If she disagrees, fine. If she agrees, great. Either way, you're not swaying in the wind waiting for her to prop you up. Most men don't get this. They think attraction is a negotiation. If I say the right thing, she'll like me. If I make her laugh enough, she'll stay. That's a losing game. The moment you start chasing her validation, you've handed her the reins. She feels it, too. Women can smell desperation like smoke in the air. It's a turnoff, because it screams weakness. A Stoic man doesn't need her to like him. He's already at peace with himself. Let's paint a scene. You're at a party, talking to her. She's gorgeous. Long hair, sharp wit, the kind of woman who knows she can have any guy in the room. Most men would start performing, telling louder stories, cracking forced jokes, leaning in too close to show they're interested. You lean back. You sip your drink. You listen when she talks, but you don't jump to fill every silence. When you speak, it's with purpose, maybe a quiet observation like, "People here are trying too hard." It's exhausting to watch. She might laugh, she might challenge you, but either way, you've just set yourself apart. You're not chasing her reaction, you're inviting her into your world. And here's the kicker, when you stop chasing, she starts wondering, why isn't he trying harder? What's he so calm about? That curiosity is your power. Stoicism teaches us to detach from outcomes. You're not there to win her over. You're there to be yourself, fully and unapologetically. If she's drawn to that, good. If not, you're still standing. This takes discipline. Your ego will scream, say something. Make her like you. Ignore it. Validation from her is a drug, temporary and hollow. Real strength comes from within. Think of it like this: you're a castle, not a salesman. Castles don't run around begging people to visit. They stand firm, and people come to them. So next time you're tempted to chase her approval, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what would Marcus Aurelius do? He'd focus on what he can control: his words, his composure, his integrity. That's your blueprint. No validation. No chasing. Just you, solid as stone. All right, you've got her attention. She's intrigued by your calm, unshakable vibe. Now what? Most guys think this is the moment to roll out the red carpet, compliment her eyes, agree with everything she says, turn into a yes-man hoping she'll reward them with a smile. That's pleasing. And it's a one-way ticket to being ignored. Instead, we're going stoic here. You tease, you don't please. This isn't about being a jerk, it's about keeping the dynamic alive, electric, unpredictable. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Don't waste your time groveling for her favor. Spark something instead. Teasing is an art. It's playful, it's confident, it's a test of her wit and yours. Picture this. She says, "I love this song." The pleaser responds, "Oh yeah, me too. It's the best." Lame. You? You smirk and say, "Really? I didn't peg you for a pop anthem girl. I thought you'd have better taste." Light teasing with a glint in your eye that says you're not serious, but you're not afraid to poke her a little. She'll laugh, maybe fire back with, "Oh, and you're the music expert?" Now you've got a game going. That's attraction. It's tension, not flattery. Why does this work? Because pleasing is predictable. It's safe. It's boring. Teasing shows you're not here to kiss the ground she walks on. You're equals, sparring in a dance of words. Stoicism backs this up. It's about self-mastery, not people-pleasing. You're not here to bend over backwards for her. You're here to enjoy the moment and see if she can keep up. Let's dive deeper. Say she's telling you about her job. She's a lawyer, proud of her latest case. The pleaser says, "Wow, that's amazing. You're so smart." Snooze. You say, "A lawyer, huh? So you're one of those people who argues for a living? I bet you'd talk circles around me just to win a bet." You're not insulting her, you're challenging her, inviting her to play. She might grin and say, "Oh, I'd win without breaking a sweat." Boom. Now you're flirting, not fawning. The Stoic twist here is detachment. You're not teasing to get something from her. You're doing it because it's fun, because it's you being you. If she doesn't bite, you don't care. You're not invested in her response, just in the act of staying true to your edge. This takes guts, because teasing risks rejection. But that's the point. A Stoic doesn't fear discomfort, he embraces it. Marcus Aurelius said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." This is your wrestle, keeping her on her toes, not letting the conversation flatline into politeness. Practice this. Next time she says something obvious, like, "It's so cold tonight," don't just nod. Tease her. "What, you didn't bring your big girl coat? I thought you were tougher than that." Keep it light, keep it sharp. She'll feel the difference. Most men are too scared to push back. You're not. That's your power. Now we're getting to the heart of it, controlling the frame. This is where you stop reacting and start leading. In every conversation, there's a frame, an unspoken vibe that sets the tone. Most men let her set it. If she's flirty, they flirt back. If she's distant, they panic and try harder. That's weakness. A Stoic man controls the frame, not because he's manipulative, but because he's rooted in his own reality. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." Her mood? Beyond your will. Your response? That's yours. So what does this look like? Imagine you're talking to her, and she throws a curveball, maybe a sarcastic jab like, "You seem pretty full of yourself." The average guy stumbles, backpedals, tries to explain himself. You hold the frame. You smile and say, "Only when I'm right," which is most of the time. You don't flinch. You don't defend. You steer the ship. She might push harder, testing you, but you stay steady. That's the frame, your world, your rules. This isn't about dominating her, it's about not surrendering to her. Women test men instinctively. They want to know if you'll crack under pressure. Controlling the frame means you don't. Let's break it down. Say you're on a date, and she's late, 20 minutes, no apology. The pleaser says, "Oh, no worries, I get it." You say, "You're lucky I'm patient. Next time, I'm charging you interest." Calm, playful, but firm. You've set the frame, you value your time, and she's stepping into your space, not the other way around. She'll respect that, even if she doesn't say it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's ours, our actions, our mindset. The frame is your mindset projected outward. You decide the energy. If she's negative, you don't match it. If she's aloof, you don't chase. You stay grounded, pulling her into your orbit. This takes practice. Start small. Next time she says something you disagree with, don't nod to keep the peace. Say, "Nah, I see it differently," and own it. She'll feel your strength, and that's what sticks. Let's shift gears now to something most men overlook. Something so simple yet so profound it can transform the way you're perceived in an instant. Silence. In a world drowning in noise, where everyone's shouting over each other, posting every thought online, filling every second with words, silence stands out like a thunderclap. It's not just the absence of sound, it's the presence of power. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be silent, or let your words be worth more than silence." Think about that. Every time you open your mouth, you're spending a currency, your presence, your authority. Talk too much, and you cheapen it. Hold back, and it grows heavier, richer, more commanding. Picture this. You're sitting across from her at a dimly lit cafe. She's telling you about her day, something about a coworker who annoyed her, a deadline she crushed. Most guys would jump in, eager to relate, to impress, to fill the air with their own stories. "Oh yeah, that reminds me of this one time at my job." Blah blah blah. The conversation turns into a verbal ping-pong match, and before you know it, you're just another noisy guy blending into the background. Not you. You lean back in your chair. You sip your coffee, slowly, deliberately. You nod, letting her words hang in the air. She finishes, and there's a beat of silence. She looks at you, waiting. Then when the moment feels right, not rushed, not forced, you say something simple, something sharp, sounds like you own that chaos. Most people would have folded. That's it. One line. No fluff, no ramble. She stops. She blinks. She feels the weight of it, because you didn't drown her in words. You gave her something solid to hold on to. That's silent power. It's not about being mute. It's about knowing when to speak and when to let the quiet do the work. Why does this matter? Because women, like all humans, are wired to notice what's rare. Everyone talks too much. Everyone's desperate to be heard. When you're the man who doesn't need to fill every gap, who's comfortable in the stillness, you become the exception. She starts wondering, why's he so calm? What's he holding back? That curiosity is your leverage. It pulls her in without you lifting a finger. Let's paint another scene. You're at a party, surrounded by loud music and louder people. She's next to you, laughing about something trivial, maybe a bad date she had last week. The average guy would pile on, "Oh man, that's hilarious. Let me tell you about my worst date." He's chasing her laughter, spilling words like a kid showing off a toy collection. You smirk, tilt your head, and say, "Guy sounds like he tried too hard. Rookie move." Then you stop. You take a slow breath, Let your eyes drift across the room like you're sizing up the crowd. She waits for more, but you don't give it. Not yet. That pause, that restraint, it's magnetic. She might nudge you. What, that's it? No story from you. You shrug, not worth the airtime. Now she's hooked, because you didn't hand her everything on a platter. You made her work for it. Stoicism backs this up hard. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." It's not just wisdom, it's strategy. Talking too much is a leak in your armor. It screams insecurity. Look at me. Hear me. Validate me. Silence says the opposite. I'm here. I'm enough. Figure me out if you want. Let's break this down practically. Your voice is a tool. Use it sparingly, and it sharpens. Next time you're with her, try this. Cut your sentences in half. If you're tempted to say, "I had a crazy day at work, this client was all over me, I barely got through it," stop at, "Work was a war zone today." Let her ask, "What happened?" She will, because silence invites questions. And when you answer, keep it tight. "Client tried to break me. Didn't work." That's it. No essay, no rambling. She'll feel the strength in your brevity. Here's another trick. Pause before you speak. Count to 3 in your head. It feels like forever, but it's only seconds, and it trains you to weigh your words. Most men blurt out whatever pops into their brain, like they're scared of losing her attention. You're not. You've got time. You've got control. Let's take this further. Silence isn't just about talking less, it's about owning the space around you. Imagine you're walking with her down the street. She's chatting away, filling the air with small talk. You don't match her pace. You listen, you nod, but you don't chatter back. Every few steps, you toss in a line, "That's a bold take," or "You're overthinking that one." Sparse, deliberate, like arrows hitting a target. She starts adjusting to your rhythm, not the other way around. That's the Stoic way, mastering yourself so the world bends to you. Practice this at home. Record yourself answering a question, like, "What do you do for fun?" Play it back. "Did you ramble?" Cut it down. Try again. "I chase what lights me up." Cleaner, stronger. Silence isn't passive, it's active restraint, and it's your edge. She'll remember the man who didn't need to shout, because his quiet spoke volumes. Now we're diving into the deep end, flipping her emotional switch. Attraction isn't a checklist, it's a feeling. It's not about what you say on paper, it's about what she feels in her gut when you're around. Logic won't get you there. Compliments won't get you there. You've got to stir something primal, something alive, and Stoicism gives you the blueprint to do it with precision. Seneca nailed it when he wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." That's your leverage, her imagination. You're not here to lay out your whole life story like a resume. You're here to spark her emotions, to take her from neutral to intrigued, from intrigued to captivated, all without breaking a sweat. How? By blending calm with intensity, predictability with surprise, depth with mystery. Let's paint a picture. You're out with her, maybe at a bar, maybe a quiet park bench. She asks, "So what's your deal? What drives you?" The average guy spills his guts. "Well, I've always been into my career, I want to make a difference, blah blah. It's safe, it's boring, it's forgettable." You? You lean in just a hair, lower your voice, and say, "I chase what keeps me sharp. Like the time I almost lost everything on a mountain trail. Snow hit, map was useless, just me and the cold." Pause. Let her eyes widen. Then, "I found my way." Always do. You pull back, take a sip of your drink, let it sink in. You've just flipped her switch. She's not thinking about your job. She's feeling the weight of that moment, picturing you against the odds, steady as steel. That's not a story, that's an emotional jolt. Why does this work? Because women don't fall for facts, they fall for tension. You're not bragging, you're revealing a piece of yourself, raw and real, then stepping back so she has to lean in for more. Stoics mastered this balance. Unshaken on the surface, fire underneath. Let's break it down further. Emotions thrive on contrast. If she expects a laugh, hit her with something serious. If she's venting about her day, don't just nod, drop a curveball. Say she's complaining about her boss. He's such a control freak, always on my case. Most guys say, yeah, that sucks, my boss is the same. Weak. You say, sounds like he's scared of you. Weak men cling to power. I've seen it break them. Calm, steady, with a glint of insight. She stops. She feels that shift, from ranting to wondering, who is this guy? You flipped her from frustration to fascination. Here's another layer. Don't be predictable. If she's used to compliments, tease her instead. She's wearing a bold red dress, and she knows she looks good. The pleaser says, wow, you look amazing. Snooze. You smirk, that dress is loud, hope you can back it up. Playful, challenging, unexpected. She'll laugh, maybe fire back, oh I can. Now you're in a dance, not a monologue. That's the switch, keeping her guessing, pulling her out of autopilot. Let's get practical. Next time you're with her, share something real, but keep it tight. Maybe a memory. I was 19, driving cross-country, ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere. Sat there under the stars, no one for miles. Figured out quick who I could count on. Don't explain the lesson, let her feel it. Then shift gears. What about you? Ever been stuck like that? You've ignited her emotions, solitude, resilience, and passed her the torch. She'll open up, because you've set the tone. Stoicism isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about wielding them. You're not a robot, you're a man who knows how to stir the pot without boiling over. Take this further, use your voice. Slow it down when you hit the heavy stuff. I faced nights where the only sound was my own thoughts. Let the words linger. Speed up when you tease. You're trouble, aren't you? I can tell. That rhythm, slow, fast, pause. It's a roller coaster she can't step off. And here's the Stoic kicker. You're not doing this to win her. You're doing it because it's true to you. If she bites, great. If not, you're still whole. Practice this. Pick a moment from your life. Something intense, something you survived. Strip it to 3 lines. Tell it to a friend. Watch their face. If they lean in, you've got it. That's your switch flipper. Use it, and she'll feel you long after you're gone. We've reached the final piece, exiting like a king. This isn't just about leaving a room, it's about leaving a mark. Most men don't know how to walk away. They linger, they hover, they cling to the moment like it's their last shot at glory. Maybe we can talk more? What's your plan later? Pathetic. It's desperation dressed up as interest, and it kills everything you've built. You're different. You exit with the dignity of a Stoic, the swagger of a ruler, the certainty of a man who owns his time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." That's your guide. Engage fully, then release fully. When it's time to go, you don't apologize for it. You don't explain it. You go. Let's set the scene. You're at a bar, deep in conversation with her. The night's been electric, laughter, teasing, a few raw moments where you both dropped the masks. She's leaning in, her eyes locked on yours, and you can feel the pull to stay. Most guys would milk it, dragging out the goodbye until it's awkward, until she's the one pulling away. Not you. You glance at your watch, not dramatically, just a subtle signal. You say, "This was good. I've got to roll." Stand up. Look her in the eye, steady, not rushed, and hit her with, "See you around." Then you walk. Head up, shoulders back, no glance over your shoulder. That's it. No begging for her number, No, let's do this again soon. You've just turned a goodbye into a power move. She's left sitting there, replaying it, wondering when a round will be. That's the king's exit. Clean, confident, unforgettable. Why does this hit so hard? Because it's rare. People, especially women, are used to clinginess, to men who can't let go. When you walk away without hesitation, you signal strength. You're not afraid of losing her, because you're not defined by her presence. Stoicism teaches us to embrace endings as naturally as beginnings. Epictetus said, "Demand not that events should happen as you will, but will them to happen as they do, and your life will be at peace." You don't control her reaction, you control your departure. Let's dig deeper. Say you're on a date, dinner's winding down. She's hinting at dessert, testing if you'll stick around. The pleaser says, "Sure, whatever you want." You say, "Tempting, but I've got an early start. Next time." You pay the bill, not splitting it, not fumbling, then rise. Enjoyed this. Take care. You leave her with a smile and a void she'll want to fill. That's not arrogance, it's clarity. You've got a life, and she's a part of it, not the whole thing. Here's another angle. The exit isn't just physical, it's conversational. Maybe you're mid-chat, and your phone buzzes. Most guys ignore it, too scared to break the flow. You check it, nod to yourself, and say, "Duty calls. Catch you later." No apology, no over-explanation. You've got boundaries, and she feels them. That's kingly, ruling your world, not bending to hers. Let's get practical. Practice this. Next time you're with her, set a mental timer. Say, 20 minutes. When it's up, excuse yourself. Good talking. I'm out. Keep it short, keep it firm. Watch her face. Surprise, intrigue, maybe a flicker of respect. That's your cue. Take it further. Plan your exit line. "This was solid. I've got places to be." Say it in the mirror. Feel the weight. It's not about being cold. It's about being decisive. Stoics didn't linger. They acted. You're not abandoning her. You're leaving her wanting more. Picture this. You're at a party. She's laughing at your last tease. The vibes peak. Most men ride it out until it fizzles. You say, "Perfect note to end on. Later." Walk to the door, nod to the host, gone. She's still smiling, replaying it. That's your legacy, an exit that echoes. Kings don't beg for encores. They take their crown and move. And there it is, brothers, your 7 Stoic keys to speak, act, and live like a man who's never ignored again. This isn't just a playbook for attraction. It's a roadmap to becoming unshakable, undeniable, a force of nature in a world full of noise and weakness. We started with the alpha first impression, walking into every space like you own it, not because you're loud, but because you're whole. Then we stripped away the need for validation, teaching you to stop chasing her approval and start standing in your own truth. We moved to teasing, not pleasing, keeping the spark alive with wit and edge. You learned to control the frame, steering every moment with the calm certainty of a Stoic emperor. We harnessed the power of silence, letting your restraint speak louder than any rant ever could. You flipped her emotional switch, stirring her soul with depth and unpredictability. And finally, you mastered the king's exit, leaving every encounter with dignity, mystery, and power intact. This is more than a video, it's a call to rise. The Stoics didn't just survive, they thrived in chaos, because they owned themselves first. That's your charge now. Take these tools, wield them, live them. Imagine a world where men stop begging, stop shrinking, and start standing tall, where we reclaim our strength, our purpose, our voice. That's the tribe we're building here, one principle at a time. If this hit you deep, don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button, join us. This isn't a solo journey, it's a movement. Share this with every man in your life who's ready to step up, your brother, your friend, the guy at the gym who's still chasing shadows. Like it, comment below, Tell me which chapter shook you the most, because your voice matters in this fight. Let's spread this fire. Let's wake up a generation of kings who've forgotten their crowns. You're not just watching, you're stepping into a legacy, a lineage of men like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, who faced the world with iron in their spines and wisdom in their words. This is your moment. Speak like this, live like this, and watch the world turn your way, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. Until next time, stay stoic, stay hungry, stay strong. I'll see you in the comments. I'll see you in the tribe. Let's keep this rolling.